running, got me running. Shake it, shake it, shake it, say that. Raise them up.
All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the next episode of the Daily Currency Call. Welcome back to everyone that usually joins us as well, and a big welcome to the new viewers too. So this is the Forex trade call with Forex Trading Asia. It's episode 378, and it's the 20th of September. So if it is your first time here as well, just a quick introduction. So we do the currency call every Monday to Friday, and the currencies we analyze are as follows. Mondays, we do the Aussie and Kiwi. Tuesday, the Euro. Wednesday, the Pound. Thursday, Yen and Gold. Friday, CAD and cryptocurrency. And that specifically refers to Bitcoin and Ethereum with Daniel. And this is the currency call where you'll get market economic updates, the key support and resistance levels, trade ideas, and much more. This currency call is going to be very beneficial to both the long-term investors and the short-term traders. And we'll go through what could move prices, possible trade ideas, and we'll also highlight the potential targets and risks. Lastly, just important to note a disclaimer: any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely the opinion and views of the speaker. So please remember to do your own analysis prior to entering any trades. So we have first up here, currency strategist Kim Hong, just to discuss the situation with the RBA, and the meeting minutes are to be released tomorrow morning as well. So he'll just go through what to expect from that and what the RBA is looking to do as well in regards to monetary policy. So over to you now, Kim Hong, with the RBA.
All right, thank you very much, Scott. Happy Monday, everyone. Okay, so this week, it's going to be action-packed, okay? We're going to be hearing from several central banks, okay? Starting off with the Reserve Bank of Australia tomorrow. We won't be hearing from them directly, okay? But we will be, they will be releasing the minutes for the most recent monetary policy meeting, okay? So if you guys can remember, I think it was just like 2.5 weeks ago that the Reserve Bank of Australia, okay, they carried out what is called the dovish tapering. All right, I'm not going to go through the whole, what's the whole dovish tapering about, but basically what they did was they tapered QE from the previous round of 5 billion Australian dollars a week, to 4 billion Australian dollars a week, starting from, I guess it already started, all right, in September. And previously, they were actually planning to make this current round of QE run for 2 months, okay, until November, but they actually decided to extend it to February 2022, which is an extension of 3 months, okay, extended by 3 months. So, which is why it's dovish, right? I mean, because of the recent lockdown being imposed across Australia due to spiking cases once again. Okay, so because of this whole uncertainty caused by the Delta variant, the central bank actually decided to, we're just going to keep this whole QE at $4 billion a week, $4 billion a week, for a longer period of time while we actually observe what's going to happen, okay, for the next few months. So, okay, that's for the meeting. So what are we going to expect from the release minutes tomorrow? Okay, I won't be expecting any positive, optimistic speeches, news, points being made in the minutes. Okay, it's very clear that right now, the situation is not very good. Okay, we have seen from the we have also seen from the recent release of the Australian employment figures. I think there was some 146,000 jobs being lost in the month for the month of August. Okay, so nothing positive is going to be coming out. All right. As a matter of fact, the minutes is going to likely reiterate what I've just mentioned. Okay, what the what the central bank actually mentioned previously. Okay, so I don't think there's going to be any surprises this time around. Okay, just expect the minute's going to be dovish. Okay, so with that, all right. Personally, I feel that the Australian dollar is going to be weak for the time being. Okay, for three main reasons. First reason, dovish tapering by the RBA. All right. Second reason, weaker jobs market. Okay. Now, the third reason, I don't think I've covered it so far. All right. So I'm going to cover it now. It's the tumbling of iron ore price. Okay. Iron ore is a commodity. What has it to do with Australia, right? So, okay. Iron ore is actually, well, Australia is actually the largest exporter of iron ore. Okay. And guess who buys the most iron ore? It's China. Okay. So, what's with this whole iron ore issue, right? So last Friday, it was reported that iron ore price actually tumbled by 20%. This 20% decline is actually the largest, okay, weekly decline in iron ore price ever since the 2008 financial crisis. So, okay, what happened to iron ore price? I mean, what happened to iron ore, right? Why does it tumble like 20%? Largest dropped since the financial crisis, the 2008 financial crisis. Now, it has to do with China, all right? The first reason, Chinese steel mills, okay, the mills that produce steel, okay, are starting to dump iron ore, okay? They are starting to dump iron ore. If possible, they will cut down iron ore imports, okay? If they have already purchased in advance, okay, tons of cargoes of iron ores, then they are going to dump it by actually selling off in the secondary market, okay, at a big discount. Okay, why is that the case? Okay, so this is actually in response to the Chinese government's production cuts on steel. Okay, so the Chinese government, they because they want to curb CO2 emissions. Okay, it's basically more like a environmental issue kind of thing that they are facing. Okay, so I believe they have been receiving a lot of pressure coming from environmentalists, those who are, basically just environmentalists. I'm not going to go too in depth into that. All right. So with that, the Chinese government would like to curb CO2 emissions. So that directly leads to a production cut on steel. Okay. So it was said that it was reported that the Chinese government is trying to curb production steel amount to the point whereby the 2021 quantity will be the same or at least around the 2020 level. Okay, so because of that, Chinese steel mills, they have to obey, right? They have to obey to all these rules being implemented, being imposed by the Chinese government, right? Otherwise, they'll be running out of business. So because of that, that's one of the main reasons, okay, why we are seeing a tumbling of iron ore price, okay? Now, second reason, it has to do with China again, right? Basically, construction activities in China is expected to slow down during Q2 and well into 2022 as well, okay? So now, if construction activities are expected to decline, okay, to slow down, then the demand for steel is going to be low. It's going to drop, right? Hence, there's no need for so much steel being produced. So, these two reasons actually led to, the fall of demand in iron ore. Okay, hence weaker iron ore price. Okay, so with this, okay, these three reasons that I've just mentioned, dovish tapering from the RBA, weaker jobs report coming from Australia, and the tumbling of iron ore price, okay, we can actually expect a weakening of Australian dollar. I guess some of you might have already looked at the chart early this morning, or rather a couple of hours ago. We are seeing that the Australian dollar is currently weakening across the board, okay, probably as a result from last week's announcement that price of iron ore tumbled 20%. Okay, personally, I feel that Aussie dollar is a good trade to take up right now, right? Because on top of the poor fundamentals coming from Australia, we are having strong fundamentals coming from the United States. Okay, so what's the strong fundamental thing about? It's basically the strong retail sales data that was released last week. Okay, so with that, I'm personally expecting further weakening in the Australian dollar. Okay, and take note that the RBA Assistant Governor Bullock will be speaking on Wednesday at 10 GMT plus 8. Okay, yeah, it is just I think it's going to be an interview with Bloomberg. All right, so chances are whoever is going to be the interviewer is going to be asking, probing into this whole weakening of steel prices, weakening of iron ore prices, poor employment figures coming out from Australia, okay, and of course with the recent dovish tapering. So I'll be paying attention to what he will be saying this Wednesday. Okay, so with that, the next meeting from the RBA will be on the 5th of October. Okay, which is probably like half a month from now. Okay, and I'll update you guys again if anything were to go down during this interview on Wednesday. Okay, so with that, I will hand it back to Scott.
All right, thank you, Gim Hong, for that as well. Andrew just had an interesting question as well. Gim, did you want to take on an answer for this, or
sure,
do you mind?
Okay, so the question is, how about the news that Australia is now embroiled in controversy with FR, foreign relations, I believe, over the submarine deal France, okay, in lieu that Australia is now partnering UK and okay. Personally, this is a political uncertainty. All right. So my view is that whenever we have uncertainty, okay, be it coming from monetary policy, politics, okay, or any fiscal issues related to the country, okay, we tend to see a weakening in the currency. Okay, so this is actually similar to many cases. Okay, for example, the US-China trade war. It has been going on for years, and nobody knows where it's going, where it's heading. That actually creates weakening of the United States dollar, right? The US dollar from time to time because of different people having different expectations of the outcomes. Okay, and basically the whole story is uncertain. Nobody knows if Australia and France, they're going to, shake hand by tomorrow and say that, we're good with the current issues and things like that. All right. So impact wise, yes. Thanks for bringing that point out. All right. That is likely going to cause more uncertainty in the Australian dollar, leading to a weakening in the Australian dollar. Okay. I think there's a second part, right? Of which NZ has stated total ban of Aussie nuke subs from entering Kiwi waters. Okay, I don't think it's going to affect the New Zealand dollar much. Okay, yeah, I think this is more of a Australia and France kind of issue. Okay, so yeah, likely it's going to cause more downward pressure on the Australian dollar. That's what I have to share. Okay, back to you, Scott.
All right, thanks for that, Gim Hong, and thanks, Andrew, as well for your question. And I just add a little bit as well in regards to that, Andrew. I would say that China see this as a pretty abrupt move from Australia as well. So that could again cause issues for Australia with China. So they'll be doing, I'd imagine China would see this and do everything in their power to make it difficult now for Australia. So the iron ore thing is big, and they'll try everything they can to make sure that Australia know about that as well. So I would say the big play is the Aussie dollar, and I'll get into the yes as well, and the Evergrande property giant as well. So there's a lot going on with that, guys. But what I'll get into now, before I get sidetracked too much as well, because I do trade iron ore stocks as well on the Australian Stock Exchange, and I'm short big ones, so that's been very profitable. So there's there's money to be made from these sort of calls if you understand the global markets as well. So it's very important to put your time and effort into it as well. Now, also, guys, US dollar index, there's a lot going on here as well. And to be honest, I did not really see such a move higher. We've seen it break out of 93. And if I go to the daily time frame as well, and I'll zoom in, you can see the significance here. This is early on Asian session, Monday morning for us here in Singapore and Perth. This is pretty significant. So in regards to the situation that's going on, if you just read what happened on Friday night, it doesn't really capture it. What really we saw was that the US equities again pulled back. And it's just from a market psychological standpoint, it's very, dramatic, where we've seen the dips being bought. And now there's just a little bit of shakiness that's present as well. And then the risk currencies are the Aussie and the Kiwi. And, you see those pull back when situations are very risk off, where the market is not that confident. And what we have seen before, and now we're seeing come back into force here, is the US dollar gaining some strength. Now, in regards to news for the US dollar today, it's very quiet, and then tomorrow is pretty quiet as well. But, we really are waiting for the FOMC meeting very early in the morning on Thursday this week as well. So for now, in regards to trade ideas on other currency pairs, stay tuned for the call. We've got the Aussie and Kiwi in focus for today. I'll just quickly touch base on a very helpful resource as well, guys. So for people that are a little bit time poor, the team here at LCMS Trades, we put together the weekly market update. And this is every Monday morning, 8 a.m. It comes out or thereabouts, Perth time or Singapore time, GMT +8. And it's just a nice way to catch up on really the big events from economic, news that's come out from the previous week, and just get yourself geared in the correct frame of mind. So, for example, if we're in a real strong risk-off scenario, it's very hard to be like, let's take a reversal on the Aussie dollar right now. That would be, especially like the viewer Andrew mentioned as well about the situation with iron ore, and to be grabbing longs on the Aussie it's difficult to do. I'm sure some people are doing it, but it's not really. That's for very brave people who, don't mind, risking losing a lot. So I would say check this out once, in the morning on Monday or whenever you get up to start the week. And then make sure you also check out the YouTube channel as well. I sent some links in the chat for that. And for now, we've got Jin, multi-million-dollar trader, going through the Aussie and the Kiwi, and just giving a bit of insights into how to prepare for this coming trading week. So over to you now, Jin.
All right, thanks for that, Scott. And with that, you say you pass it over to me, and Kim Hong stands up and gets out of the call. What is going on? Before we get started, can I get a quick show of hands? Do it on the Zoom. If you can do a show of hands, are you already on the Traders Club? Are you a member of the Traders Club? If you are not, put your hand up. If you're not, put your hand up. That will, okay. If you are, put your hand up. Let's see if we can get any reactions at all. All right. Okay, so just quickly before I jump onto the Aussie and the Kiwi analysis, what I want to show you first is why I'm asking you whether you are, or if you're not a member already. Regardless of whether you are or you're not, what you should be doing. Why I'm telling you about this is, we were just having this discussion about the signals. So a lot of you came on from the signals on Telegram, or you're checking out the signals on Telegram, or if you're already a member and you're looking at it via the EchoFin platform, what we've been talking about this morning is how to try and harness the profits that we've been, or the pips and profits that we've been showing you from the signals. And Imran here did a very good analysis and tabulation of the results. Basically, even if you jumped onto every trade and held it only to take profit level 1, which is the first one, you would be on a monthly average about 460 pips up. you would, even if you blindly followed it and just followed the signals on a monthly average, you'll be 460 pips up. If you did 40 pips, if you just followed only 40 pips, you'll be 162. And if you followed up to 60 pips blindly, you'll be a minus 180. So putting all that together, what it means is that the signals are there for you to use. If you blindly followed it on either of the three or any of the three take profit levels, your results will vary. What this means is that you should be using the signals, managing it a little bit closely, setting your stop loss levels, referring to the analysis and the recommendations, whether to close or whether to hold on to your trades. So a lot of analysis there on the EchoFin platform for the members. And if you're not already a member, what you need to do here is to jump onto the site. Jump onto the site. The link is going to go up. One of the guys will help me post up the link. Scroll down to, you can obviously subscribe, get access, learn how to trade here. If you haven't already, then make sure you get access, and you can actually jump onto the platform, get onto the club for, where is it? You get access, 1 month free access, name, email address, and get access immediately. Okay, so this is 1 month free for you just to come in, test it out, get the average of 460 pips in a month from the trade signals, get the analysis, get the support that you need. So if you haven't already, make sure you do that right after this call. With that said, now jumping onto Forex Trading Asia, looking at the news, looking at the economic calendar. What do we have? Not a lot of news happening tonight or today and tonight. For Monday, we have China on holiday, we have Japan on holiday, but we've already seen the markets moving quite significantly, like Scott was sharing with you about how the dollar index has seen quite significant upside. Is this going to continue? I do think so, especially with some news to be released later into the week. The focus is the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar, like Kim Hong was sharing with you. RBA meeting minutes tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. GMT +8. Again, with this meeting minutes, we don't expect big surprises here, but we do anticipate that because there's no big surprises, we might actually see the dovish tone for the Aussie dollar to continue. With that, on Wednesday, we have Governor Bullock speaking, Bullock speaking, but I don't think this is going to move too much. Pay attention to what could happen to the yen. For Traders Club members, I will be giving you a quick update on the yen pairs before this news on Wednesday. We might see some good trading opportunities here. We normally talk about the yen on Thursday, but I'll do this earlier for you guys on Wednesday, before the news on Wednesday. So if you're not a member, make sure to go onto the link, jump on board. And then on Thursday, look at this, on Thursday, 2 a.m., early in the morning, we do have the rates decision, the US economic projections statement, rate decision, and press conference. With this, I think that we might see a lot more volatility. I don't think there's going to be a big change in terms of the perspective coming from the FOMC, but I do think that we might see that volatility come around. I think that we might see, as the market seems to be pricing in a little bit, I hate the word pricing in, but seems to be pricing in a little bit, that dollar strength for the news on Thursday morning. So we might see some dollar strength continue. And then following on from that, you can see not a lot of Aussie or Kiwi news to be released after that. But we do have the Bank of England, we do have PMI numbers for the US, and also Fed Powell speaking on Friday evening. So you can see here that we have a lot of news to be released, focused on the US dollar, focused on the other central bankers, and only one for the Aussie. What this could mean on the charts is that here we have the Aussie US on the H4 time frame. The last time I spoke about it, I said it was likely to test 7395 before dropping down towards that level of 7296. It went to that point, it went beyond that point, now sitting at 7233. Why it's sitting at 7233 is in reference to what happened 4 weeks ago, where it set at 7233 and bounced off. At this point now, I think it's very unlikely that it's going to bounce off. I think that it's more likely to drop down. So I don't think it'll bounce off. I think that what you should be looking for is that downward move towards that 7120. Aligned with what Scott was sharing about the dollar index, aligned with what Kim Hong has been sharing about the Aussie dollar and the sentiment, iron ore, the submarine, the way China is behaving, the uncertainty in China as well. I think that we could see this move down towards 7120. So with that, what you're looking for is selling opportunities below 7215, stop loss about 30 pips, take profit level about 90 pips. You're looking at a 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside. But this also means that you'll be waiting a good 20 to 30 pips for it to move down, close below that 7215 before you look for that selling opportunity. A little bit of patience required at this point. I think that it will sit there, sit across a little bit before continuing its drop downwards. That said about the Aussie dollar, the Kiwi has done exactly as we expected for last week, tested that 7146 level, tracking down towards 7073, trading within that range. It's broken that range. I think for the Kiwi dollar, we might actually see a little bit of a different move. We might see it track a little bit across, a little bit upwards before on Thursday with the FOMC tracking lower again. I don't think for the Kiwi, it will drag all the way down towards 6819. I think that'll be a bit too optimistic. What you could be looking for is selling opportunities below its current point. So below 7, let's even say below, let's be a bit more conservative, below 7015, below 7015, you're looking at a 80 pip, 90 pip take profit level, a stop loss of about 30 pips. You're still looking at a 1:3 risk reward ratio towards the downside, but I think that we might see it sit across before you get that selling opportunity. So this would require quite a bit more patience again, but both the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar looking at potential downside move, Aussie dollar towards the support level, Kiwi dollar maybe not so much, but still moving towards the 6936 support or intermediate support level. With that said, quite short and sharp on the Aussie and the Kiwi dollar. I'll pass it back to you, Scott.
Thanks for that, Jin. And guys, remember on the YouTube channel as well, and I did share the link for that too. Please check it out. We do include the trade ideas as well. So you can watch the whole currency call. You can also watch Gim's breaking news analysis too, just to get an understanding about the RBA situation. And you can have a recap as well on the levels that were presented, because they're quite key as well, just to understand what's going on in the charts, but also incorporate that with the current fundamentals as well. So that's something that I would say is very important to understand as well, because if you sort of miss that, if you don't have everything in line, then you can be up against the main players in the Forex markets, and that can be quite challenging to, gain profits from that as well. So what we have up next for everyone is Daniel, one of the senior trading coaches at LCMS Traders, just going through the upcoming live trading call this evening. And he will go through also about the LCMS Traders Club as well. So over to you now, Daniel.
Hey, thanks, Scott. Okay, so basically tonight at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8, the LCMS Traders Club is going to have a group coaching sessions. Now, what we're going to do in the group coaching sessions right now is we will guide you through what's the current market conditions, see, basically looking at what the previous news, what's happened, talk about it, discussion, who that could influence this week's market. And then we show you how to identify trades and literally try to make profits together. Okay, so it's something that we'll do every Monday 8 p.m. So do come and join us here. And not only that, on Wednesdays, we do live trading sessions with all the club members as well, where we look at, what has happened already in the week and how to possibly trade the US market open at the point of time at 9 p.m. GMT plus 8 here. So again, very nice to join here. So now we also have, what do you think about the Traders Club? If you're already not in there, Jean already has showed you a glimpse of it, and then how to join with the 1 month free subscription. That'll be great. So I just want to show you a little bit more about the LCMS Traders Club. Okay, so what we have here, okay, is that this is the dedicated club platform where we have right here. You can see that we have a couple of things. We have the trading floor, which Jean has already mentioned, show you lots of discussions, any questions, discussions, and trade ideas, short-term trade ideas, all have been put in place in the trading floor with all the members. Very beneficial. I've seen lots of activities already. So then we have also the market watch here. We can base it up. Market watch is where we look at the market in a week. We have the weekly market updates. Scott already mentioned about it. What happened last week? Summarize for you. Over the weekend, we also give you any currency correlation between, so you can manage your risk properly. And every day, morning, we will actually give you where the daily currency analysis of each currency's pairs, what directions we're going for, and if there's a trade idea coming in, the long-term trade idea we actually will put it in, and also if it's triggered, or invalidated or invalid trade idea, we will put it up here as well. And then signals coming in, we have the signals where we give you what we see snapshot of that moment, where we think is a good short-term setups, where, for example, we'll tell you to buy or sell which currency pairs, at what price, what stop loss, and the 3 possible take profits target. Now, again, to what we won't leave you there. We also will do a signal analysis here. We will tell you whether or not, or why we take the trade. We give the analysis of why we take the trade. If it's stop loss, we put it in there as well. If it's like TP, Pre-Corporate 1, we will put it in there as well, and we'll let you know whether to secure your profits or us to continue on, possibly where we look at the market at that point of time, whether it's a good analysis to go in. Okay, we also have a couple of education videos here as well, how we draw support, resistance, divergence, trend lines, and many, many more. And what we like to use here, lots of widgets here, the functionalities here. We have the calendar, we have seen the Forex Trading Asia here, but sometimes you also can see the calendar coming in. Now, not only do you have a calendar coming in of the different countries, what my favorite is to use is the data flash. Now, this data flash, you can see right here, it actually gives you, my experience is that get the news released earlier than anyone else. So especially if you're interested in trading the news, this is really nice. It actually gives you a countdown, tell you 5 more minutes, 3 more minutes, and so that you won't miss the news analysis. And then you come out the signals the data quite early. Actually, it tells you, in fact, it gives you a voice messages telling you what's happening while you look at the chart. So it's something really very good, and I tend to use it as well. We also have the Forex heat map here, where we're basically looking at the different currencies, comparing the pairs and see which one is going up or down, so that you know which currency to be focusing on. Now, you look at all this here again. Usually, I'll tell you to go to lcmstradersclub.lcms.com.sg to join the club members. This very beneficial platform here for anyone who does trading. But of course, again, just to emphasize, go to www.jintai.com, go in and make use of this 1 month free exclusive to this private traders club here, if you're not in it already. Okay, so I can tell you, this is really, without a doubt, the least you must do to be your best in trading, with so much information and analysis down there. You have to get on board right now. So when you get on board right now, I see you tonight at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8 for the group coaching analysis, and look at the weekly markets as well. Scott.
All right, thank you for that, Daniel. And I've just noticed there was a question about how to use the functions on EchoFin as well. So I've made a video, it's not on YouTube as well, and I will share that in the EchoFin group, just on how to approach it. But it is a interesting question because it would be based on your trading style as well. So I've gone through everything, and I will post that up in the LCMS Traders Club group as well. Now, one more link I have shared, everyone, is the ForexBriefcase managed account service. So if you're in the club and you've been following the signals and things like that, and you're wondering what the difference is, I guess I would say that it's like having a GPS in your car with the signals, and you can still obviously detour from that. But the ForexBriefcase account is like being chauffeured around. So the driver does everything for you, and you literally just focus on other things. So I would say running both the signals and this is very intelligent. It's something I personally do as well. And I would encourage just to diversify the portfolio, especially to take advantage of what's going on with the US dollar strength as well. An allocation makes a great deal of sense. Please click the website link, register your details. We'll be in touch, and we'd love you to be a part of the process and the journey with us. So that is the Monday call, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with the Euro analysis. Hope everyone enjoys their